My name is Edijs, and I'm working at Master Packager. And first, I would like to explain to you what is Master Packager. So, I was working as an application packager for 10 years, and I worked for a big service provider. My daily job was to create silent installation packages for enterprise deployment. And back in the day, we were looking for a new packaging tool, and we realized that a lot of them are really expensive and they did not fulfill all of our needs. So we decided as packagers that we want to build our own application packaging software. So that's how Master Packager was born. And we created 4 applications. So Master Packager is a suite of 4 applications that allow you to create silent deployment packages. So we created this workflow. It will show you how each of our applications is useful inside of the packaging tasks. So first of all, we begin always with the request from the end user, and we have to first evaluate how we should package that application. So we created Master Packager Toolbox that allows you to identify what sort of installer do you have. Either you have a vendor deployment solution that can be installed silently, you have silent switches, or you have a non-silent exe installer that you have to repackage. So you can use Master Repackager and convert that exe into an MSI or an MSI-X. Or in the last case, if you have a vendor MSI already, or you don't have any MSI, so any installer at all, then you can use Master Packager, which is an MSI editor. So if you have ever used Orca or Instead, it's similar to it, but it has a user interface. So you do not need to know how the tables work. You can just do everything in the UI, and we will take care of everything for you. Also, the Master Packager is a part of the free community version, so you can use it without a license. So if you're still ever using Orca or Instead, just give Master Packager a try, and it will be much, much easier for you. So when you have decided how to install the application silently, then we recommend for you to always to wrap it into PSADT. So for the people that do not know what PSADT is an open source PowerShell framework that improves and standardizes your deployment. It allows you to add interaction to your deployments, meaning it can ask users to close up running applications. It can prompt the users to restart their PC, show progress, and all of that will be logged. That is very important for troubleshooting reasons. So even back in the day when we were still working as packagers, we would wrap absolutely every package into PSADT, and we recommend for you to do the same. And Master Wrapper is a UI that allows you to create those scripts without needing to know the PowerShell syntax behind it. You can just drag and drop an installer. It will read the installer, get the icon, pre-fill the information for you, read the processes that should be closed, etc. So it makes it a lot easier. And the final step is to upload it to Intune. You can use the Master Packager Toolbox to do it. And there are many benefits of doing that instead of going through the Intune portal. One of them is that it will read all the information that you saved within the package automatically, such as the general information, the name, version, the icon, the command lines, the description, notes, Intune, categories, detection methods, etc. And all that is saved within the package. You just have to select it and it will read it automatically. Another important benefit is that you don't even have to convert it to Intune Min. We will do it automatically for you during the upload. And as well, the upload speed will be much, much higher than going through the portal. If you upload a big package to the portal, it can take you hours because the speed is limited to about 30 megabits per second. But if you have a gigabit connection, if you use the toolbox, you can upload an 8 gigabyte package in under 10 minutes. So the speed difference is massive. But today we will be talking more about repackaging specifically. So we need to understand what is repackaging exactly. So it is a process where you take an existing installer, typically a Setup.exe, and capture it and transform it into a new standardized installation package, typically for enterprise distribution. So when we need to understand why you should repackage, typically it is when the installer does not support silent installation or uninstallation. To have a reliable installation experience, to know what is inside the installer and how it will behave. One example I can give you, which was recently in our application packaging workshop, one of our attendees asked us to package an application, and it did have a silent installation command line, but it did not have a silent uninstall. And since we always want to create best quality packages, we want always to have an uninstall as well. Some people will just say, I can install it silently and leave it there and never uninstall it. But we decided to repackage this application. And what we noticed was that it installed Apple Bonjour service, which is used by many different applications, but it installed that service inside of the application's installation directory instead of the default Bonjour directory, meaning that if you ever uninstall this application, it might break other applications when you uninstall it. So, and if you would not repackage it, you would not ever find this type of problem. Another benefit is that you will have proper upgrades, meaning MSIs upgrade all the previous versions automatically. You don't need to worry about finding the previous uninstall command lines, etc. You will have standardized logging. For exe installers, usually the logging is not so great, and MSIs have always had really good logging. Another benefit is that you will have a clean uninstall. Everything that an MSI installs, it will automatically uninstall, so you don't need to worry about cleaning up, writing some cleanup scripts, etc. There also might be cases where the installation works with a silent switch, but it does not work from the system account. So, well, all the deployments happen from the system account, so it might be a problem for you. As well as we find it easier to add configuration to the MSI if you have an MSI instead of an exe installer. And when should you not repackage? So if an exe installer contains already an MSI file inside, well, we never recommend for you to repackage an existing MSI file. Also, if the vendor already offers some silent switches or a deployment solution that creates a package for you, we would not recommend to repackage applications in those cases. As well as if the installer has very complex installation logic, it might not be worth the effort to try to reverse and engineer that application and try to repackage it. So how does the repackaging process work? So first of all, you need to capture a snapshot. It will scan all your system, how the files and registries look like. Then you have to install your application or make any other changes that you need. You create a second snapshot. It will compare the differences, and then you have to clean up. Clean up meaning you have to check if there are any unrelated files or registries captured. You have to remove them, and then finally you can build your MSI or MSIX package. So here are a few tips that helped us greatly to create high-quality repackaged applications. So the first tip is to always use a clean virtual machine. Do not have it Entra or domain joined. Just a clean Windows install with a regular user account and no other applications installed. It will make it faster for you. It will make it easier to clean up. And the next thing is that if you ever have any dependencies for your application, those should be installed before capturing the first snapshot. So if you have Visual C++ redistributables, Java, etc., do not capture them within your package. Also, sometimes an exe installer might contain multiple installations, so it might install some MSIs as well, but it might do something with the exe as well. So in those cases, you have to take the MSIs out, install them before the first snapshot, and only then create the first snapshot. Then you have to install your application, and we always recommend for you to do it quickly. The longer you wait, the more you have to clean up. And if the app asks for boot after installation, it's 99% of the time not required, so you can just skip it and create the second snapshot. And we always recommend for you to not open any applications during the capturing process, because that will generate files in the user profile or registries that you'll have to clean up. And if you need to do any configuration, such as disabling updates, changing the default language, applying a license server, etc., then you should do that during the repackaging process. That should be a separate step, and you can add it on to your package later on. So, and tips how you can clean up your packages. This is quite an interesting topic, because when people first start to repackage, they do not know what should be within the package and what shouldn't. And if we recommend for you to never leave unknown registries or files inside of your package. So either use AI and ask what the registry key or file does, Google it, and you can also always compare it with your physical PC if you do not have the same application installed. If it's present on there as well, you can remove it from your package. Another tip is to not leave username or PC name related information inside your package. It might be the case that you repackage it, everything is working for you, and you try to install it on a different machine where you have different username, different PC name, and your app stops working. So you have to be aware of that. Also, try to always clean up unneeded files that are only needed for the exe installation, such as the uninstall exes, the log files, uninstall shortcuts, etc. We always recommend for you to have 0 files and registries in per user locations. Usually the apps will write those back on the first launch, so you do not need to include them inside of your packages. And if you notice that any unrelated files or registries are being captured, you can manually add them to the exclusion list or notify us and we will add them for you. And I wanted to show you a demo in practice, how this looks like. So let me switch to my virtual machine. Let me start the repackager. So, and let's take our first snapshot. It will scan the virtual machine, all the registries and all the files. If you would have any dependencies, you should install them before this step. In this case, we have a simple exe installer. So we do not have any dependencies, but this exe installer does not have any silent switches. We cannot deploy it silently from Intune or SSM, so we have to repackage this application. So the snapshot is done. Let's install our application. Okay, we have installed it. Let's create the second snapshot. So it will capture everything once again, and it will compare the differences and show us the files and registries what were captured, and we will need to have to clean them up. Yeah, and as I mentioned, the cleaner your virtual machine, the faster this will happen. If you have a lot of apps installed and your system is full, then it will take a longer time to scan your system. So we can check the registries, sorry, the files that were captured. We can see that we just captured some files under program files. One interesting thing about this app is that it writes the uninstall exe directly under program files. This should usually not be the case. No app should write there. They should put everything inside of the installation directory of the app, not directly under program files. So we can exclude this. This will not be needed. We can see that we have the application directory and we have a few more files under the user profile. So we can check what is under there. So we have start menu shortcuts. We have 2 shortcuts. We have the uninstall shortcut. This is not needed anymore. We can exclude it. And we have the main application shortcut and a desktop shortcut here. So we can leave those. We can check the registries. So everything was excluded. We can just see that Windows wrote some background things. So these are not needed in your package. You can just check what was excluded if it is really not needed. So some certificates and uninstall registry keys. So these are not needed because we will have our own when we repackage. So we can go next. This takes us to the build step, so we can verify that the name, the version, etc., everything is correct. We don't have an icon. This is because the application did not add an icon for add remove programs. So we can select one manually. So in this case, when we press build, it will not allow us to build because the version contains letters and MSI will not like this. The upgrades will not work correctly. It needs to be a correct version. So we have to adjust this and set correct version. And that's it. Either we can build MSI or MSIX. Let me build the package. Okay. it's done, and we can open up our package inside the master packager to just quickly show you how the MSI was created. Okay, so we have all general information set. We have the icon. We have our 100 files inside of our package. So we can see all that is fine. We have 2 shortcuts, and these shortcuts will be per machine instead of per user as the original installer installed them. So as easy as that. So this is all a part of what we teach in our application packaging workshop, where we teach you how to package any application for enterprise deployment. The next one we are going to have is going to be on April 20th. So you can go to our website and sign up if you're interested. It's 5 days, 4 hours per day, where we teach you all the knowledge that we gathered in 10 years of packaging apps. And that's it. You can go visit our website and get a trial or use the free version. If you have any questions, you can always email us or contact us in the social media. And that's it. Thank you very much and have a nice day.